For Lesson 8, we are going to find the area of a rectangle through multiplication of the side lengths. Let's take a look at the problem set. Look at number 1. It says, write a multiplication equation to find the area of each rectangle. So, how do we solve for area? Do you remember what the formula for area is? So the formula for area is A equals length times width. Remember, the length was what goes side to side, left to right. The width is what goes up and down. So for this equation, what is the length? Write it in the first line. What is the width? Write it on the second line. Then multiply 7 times 4 feet to get your area. Pause the video while you work and replay when you are ready, or if you get stuck. So the length is 7 feet. The width is 4 feet. 7 times 4. I'm going to write my 7s down. So 7, 14, 21, and 28. So that means that the area is 28 square feet. Remember, you can write SQ for square. Let's take a look at number 2. It says write a multiplication equation and a division equation to find the unknown side length for each rectangle. So remember, A equals length times width. Also remember that multiplication and division are fact families. So let's take a look at letter A. I know that the area is 72 square feet, so I'm going to put that at the end of the equal sign. I know that the width is what goes up and down, so that's going to be 9 feet. So that's going to go in the second line. I am not sure what the missing side length is, but what would I do with the number 72 and 9 in order to figure out the missing side length? Remember, I'm going to have to do the opposite, so that would be division. Remember, the largest number goes first in a division equation, just like we would do in subtraction. So what is 72 divided by 9? Write your 9s down to figure out and solve for the missing side length. Pause the video while you work and replay when you are ready or if you get stuck. So here are my 9s. I needed to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in order to get the 72. So that means my missing side length is 8 feet. Let's take a look at letter B. I have the area of 15 square feet. So where would that go on my multiplication sentence? Since what I'm looking for is area, it is going to go at the end of the equation after the equal sign. Next, I know that there is 3 feet. Is that the length or is that the width? Where was that going to go on my multiplication equation? So I remember that length is side to side. Width, I remember, goes up and down. So that means 3 feet is going to go on the second line. Since I'm not sure what my length is, I'm going to give it a question mark. So what would I have to do with 15 and 3 in order to figure out the missing side length? I am going to have to divide 15 divided by 3. So what is 15 divided by 3? Count by 3s until you get to 15 and see how many times you had to count by. Pause the video while you work and replay when you are ready or if you get stuck. So here are my 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I had to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in order to get to 15. So that means that the missing side length is 5. Let's take a look at number 6. It says Cliff draws a rectangle with a side length of 6 inches and an area of 24 square inches. What is the other side length? How do you know? So the first thing I need to do is draw a picture. So since Cliff drew a rectangle, I'm going to draw a rectangle. Now I'm going to take a look at the next piece of information. He said that the rectangle had a side length of 6 inches. So I'm going to label my diagram as 6 inches for length. Then it said that the area was 24 square inches. So when I write area, I'm going to put that in the box. Because remember, area is what measures the space inside of a shape. So they want to know what is the side length or what is the width. So how would I figure this out? What formula do you know about area that can help you? So I know that area is equal to length times width. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the numbers in for what I know. I know the area is 24 square inches. I know the length is 6, but I'm not sure what the width is, so I'm going to leave that as W. So what would I have to do with 24 and 6 in order to figure out the W? Pause the video while you work to solve. Replay when you are ready or if you get stuck. So I'm going to have to take 24 and divide it by 6, which is the opposite operation of multiplication, in order to figure out the width. So what is 6 divided by 24? Let's count by 6s until we get to 24. So 6, 12, 18, 24. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So 4 inches is equal to the width. They want to know how we knew. So we can write a statement that says, I knew that A equals length times width. So I divided to solve. Your assignment is to work on number 1B and number 1C. Then I would like you to work on number 2C and finally work on number 4. When you are finished, make sure you check the answer keys at the front of the room. If you need to make corrections, please do so. When you are set, go ahead and put the problem set in your take-home folder. Make sure to grab an exit ticket and put your name on it. When you are finished, put it in the turn-in tray. If you don't finish, it is homework. See you next time.